What up, what up? This is Ace OG, back into the top, back into the video. So the title of this video is going to be, how does the port strike affect Americans? So admin notes, thanks again to all subscribe to the channel. I endeavor to keep pushing the video out, give you leverage to better yourselves. So let's get into it. So how does the port strike affect Americans? Now, if anybody has not been watching the news or have been keeping up with the media, as far as like how shipping ports are actually working and running business lately, as of what's the date? The 2nd, I believe. So as of yesterday, October 1st of 2024, all the port workers at all these shipping ports, whether it be in Norfolk, Newport News, New Jersey, I think there's one in New York, and a couple other places. There's some down in the South. They have gone on strike, meaning that they're not working, right? Now, mind you, to make a long story short, right, and give folks an idea of how crazy this is, with these workers going on strike at the ports, that means that shipping totally stops, meaning that all your products that you see in stores, doesn't matter if it's electronics, if it's clothes, all these other things. I'm not sure about food. I think food for the most part is like shipped internally, by truck and other ways of transportation across the United States. But when it comes to major things you will find in stores, they come from shipping ports from overseas. So when these workers stop working, that means that all that shipping stopped. And I want to say I saw somewhere where they say it's going to cost the economy $5 billion a day with these ports being shut down. So this is huge, y'all. This is huge. It's going to affect Americans in a really, really crazy way. I'm telling you, inflation might be going to the roof again. I'm not even going to front about that. But before I get into that particular portion, not to belabor the topic, but I want to give you guys kind of like a backdrop as for like why this is happening. Now, first of all, I have strong ties to the port because I'm from Norfolk, Virginia, right? And if anybody's been down in Norfolk in the Hampton Roads area, the shipping economy is huge down there, on top of the Navy being down there as well, right? But one of the things that I saw growing up is a lot of the adults that I knew, one of the ways of to come out of the projects was to be a longshoreman. And a longshoreman is pretty much a maritime worker that actually offloads cargo from ships and actually puts cargo on ships as well. By means of forklifts, cranes, all these other devices that they use to move cargo, right? And these folks get paid a lot of money, y'all. First of all, they're in a union, meaning that that it takes a lot for them to get fired because the union protects them. But when it comes to the actual pay, I'm not exactly sure how much pay they start off with, depending on what kind of longshoreman you are. But my wife, right? So I think I mentioned this before on a previous video that my wife grew up in a restaurant. Because her mom and one of her aunts owned the restaurant for years. And the restaurant was actually inside of a building that was owned by the longshoremen, the ILA, the International Longshoremen Association. And I remember my wife telling me this clearly when we first started dating, that she would see celebrities come through that joint. One time MC Hammer came through there. Another time Al B. Sure came through there. Now this is like, in the 90s, right? Like early to mid 90s. They wound up closing the restaurant in 2007 because my mother-in-law developed MS, and my aunt-in-law, which has passed away now, rest in peace to her, she started having some hip issues, so she couldn't stand it anymore. But before then, they had a whole bunch of celebrities that would come through there, and the longshoremen, she said, would come in there in mink coats, pinky rings. They had multiple women with them, whatever. I mean, these folks were, and these were the OGs longshoremen. Like, these are the longshoremen like in their 50s and above. They had the Cadillacs and all this other stuff outside. Like, these folks was balling, y'all. Balling. And I can only imagine that, even though that was the 90s economy, I'm pretty sure the longshoreman that would start the longshoreman job today will still get paid a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? Like, because it's a dangerous job. You got to understand, man, the dangerous the job is, the more you're gonna get paid. And the harder mentally the job is, the more you're gonna get paid. That's the reason why, because of me being a cybersecurity analyst, also as system administrator, that's why I get paid a lot, because it's mentally challenging, right? Not everybody can do this job. But anyways, getting back to the topic. So these longshoremen went on strike because they're not getting paid what they're supposed to get paid. Now, I just said that they get paid a lot of money, right? But I'm assuming that over this last couple of years with the pandemic, and also I've read that there's a 6-year contract between the ports and the LLA that actually ended. And I guess whenever they renegotiated the contract, the pay wasn't looking right. So they're like, yo, I mean, this job is extremely dangerous, and you guys are really not paying us what we're supposed to be getting paid. So we're not going to work until you guys pay us what we owe as far as like compensation. And the thing is when people go on strike, like, they understand that, like, they're not going to get paid, meaning that they're literally putting their life and their families' lives on the line to prove a point and to actually be able to get what they deserve. You know what I'm saying? So these folks are, God bless them, because not everybody has the intestinal fortitude to go on strike and to demand what they're owed and what they deserve. Now, I still have ties with longshoremen because I have I guess he's a nephew, right? So my brother-in-law, had passed away some months ago. Rest in peace to him. I had mentioned him before. Man, that still hurt my heart to this day. He passed away of pancreatic cancer. But he was a longshoreman, right? For, I want to say, almost 10 years. So, he has deep ties with that. There's videos on Facebook right now where I can go and look at where he's actually operating a crane. He was a crane operator. And one of his sons is still a longshoreman right now, which means that he's on strike now as well. And he has a family. So, he's hurting right now. You know what I'm saying? So, nephew, you watching this video right now, I feel for you, dog. You know what I'm saying? I'm rooting for you. Anything you need, let me know, bro. Real talk. But, so like I said, so these folks went on strike because of the way the contract was probably written, and because they're not getting what they deserve, right? It's probably the medical incentive is probably not good as far as like their medical insurance. Once again, even though these folks get paid a lot of money already, these folks work an extremely dangerous job. Extremely dangerous. I'm not exactly sure statistically how many longshoremen pass away a year, but I mean, it's like construction work. Construction workers work a dangerous job too. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm gonna work a dangerous job, I'm not gonna get paid pennies. You know what I'm saying? Especially if I've been there for a long time. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure most of these port workers, because they with a union, they've been there for a very long time. Because for one thing, when you try to get a job like this, it's like, it's not what you know, it's who you know. I know folks to this day right now have been trying to be a longshoreman for years, and they still haven't got in there. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not an easy job to get. Once you get in there, you in there like swimwear, right? So, the way the economy is going to be affected, this is going to be bad, y'all. Like, I'm not trying to do a doom and gloom video, but this is not going to be good, because once again, it's not necessarily the amount of money that America is losing, the economy is losing, as far as like the $5 billion, is more supply hiccups. Because what I also read was, for every day the ports are closed, it takes a week and a half for the shipping to actually come back to normal. Meaning that, let's say that Food Line or Giant or Kroger, wherever you're located in the States, Safeway. Let's say that they're supposed to get a shipment of chicken. Well, I'm sorry, not a shipment of chicken. Let's say they're supposed to get a shipment of toilet paper. Like I said, food is not necessarily a product that's affected mainly because of the ports being closed. So let's say, for every Tuesday, those stores supposed to get a shipment of toilet paper. Now, the port's been closed for 2 days now, right? Got closed yesterday. It was closed yesterday, and it's morning time the very next day, October 2nd right now, as I'm recording this video. So it's closed again today, right? They haven't come to an agreement. So you're talking that right now, you know, from a shipping perspective, toilet paper right now is going to be 3 weeks behind already because of the ports being closed. You know what I'm saying? So the interval that toilet paper is going to be shipped to these stores is actually hung up now for 3 weeks after only 2 days of the ports being closed. How do you think it's going to affect the economy? How do you think it's going to affect inflation? Because shelves about to be empty, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Real talk, really? Like, by the time this weekend hit, I'm gonna be doing a lot of shopping, y'all. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get as much supplies I can get. I'm gonna get as much food I can get, all of that. You know, so I'm stocking up because as long as these ports are closed, it's not gonna be a good look, y'all. Because let's say that the ports will open up right now. That means there are still gonna be delays. The damage is already done, y'all. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be delays right now because of the ports being closed. So all that I can say is I have no solution, obviously, you know what I'm saying? But all that I can say is about these ports is going to affect the economy drastically. It really is. And I think inflation is going to increase, which I'm telling you, like, I mean, yo, it almost feels like that this is almost like some type of setup for the election, y'all. Don't you feel that? I mean, why is all this stuff happening before the election? Now, what happens if one of these political parties come in and saves the day? I've been thinking about stuff like that, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, this don't look like normal. You know what I'm saying? Like, it feels like a setup, y'all. For real. But anyways, drop some comments in the comment section. Let me know what you think about these ports being closed. Like I said, word to the wise, get out there and do some shopping, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Because these delays is going to affect the economy, and it's going to affect you as a person, as a family. All right? So you want me to discuss the topic or subject that beneficial to the channel, email me at finestfitnessfolk@gmail.com. My email address is in the description below. This is So G, signing out. I'm gone.